Miel, thank you very much for the question, and I think you're going to help a lot of people in this same scenario. I will definitely, there's a couple of things that I recommend, right? One is if you don't know the answer just yet, it's okay to say, I don't know yet. But here's a couple of things I want you to consider before you say yes or no. The first and foremost, do you really enjoy helping people? And here's what I mean is that management is the work to get things done. But what you have to manage is the behavior. And with that comes helping people overcome their fears, overcome their anxieties, helping them from a personal standpoint of what they're going through, from a life standpoint, because what happens in their life affects work. Because if they call in for whatever reason, it impacts you. So you have a vested interest of the individual. So the also bring baggage in. You've got to teach them how to separate baggage at work and baggage at home. That's all part of being a manager. And you truly have to enjoy helping people because it has a lot of value when you hear one person say, "Boss, you really made a difference in my life. I really appreciate you sticking it out for me." That just makes the entire year, everything you're doing worthwhile. The second thing is that you've got to enjoy solving problems. You've got to get in this mindset of how do I continuously improve and solve problems from my people standpoint and from an organization standpoint. And don't let anything hold you back, meaning that there is going to be some resistance, there is going to be some failures, but you have to be in that mentality of like, okay, I got to keep moving, got to solve this issue, then the next one, then the next one, the next one. And before you know it, you're going to have a lot of things that you solve that accumulate to one big thing. So those are two primary things that I want you to consider if you truly enjoy those things. Now, if you don't know, guess what? You're not going to know until you try it. So if you're curious about this and you're like, okay, I want to experience that, then decide after a year or 2 years and go, hey, this is not for me, go for it. Go for it. But the thing about it, and here's the other part you have to realize, is if you say yes, no one's going to train you. That's just the reality. If your boss says, if you want to be a manager, no one's going to teach you the right skills to become an effective manager of what I just said. The two things that I told you to consider, no one's going to train you to be effective because it requires a level of skill for you to execute to the expectations of your organization and customer through your people. And guess what? Your people don't have tolerance for you to make mistakes. Your people expect you to be good at your job from day one. So it's a double-edged sword. You're going to go in there not knowing, but then again, your employees are going to expect you to do well from day one, because if you don't do well, the consequences is culture, your employees not trusting you, bad quality, bad service, all those different things that come from you. Oh, I'm just learning to be a manager. No, it doesn't work that way. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. But I'm here to help you with that. I'm here to change that for you and with you. But it's a lot to consider. I know it's a lot to consider to say yes to this, but go with what you feel is right. That's all I got.